What we are presenting here is part of our national campaign to eliminate statelessness among the Indian poor. On the 13th of August, this year, 2010, we from Hindraf and the Human Rights Party went up to Putrajaya and we had a meeting with the Director of Births, Deaths and Adoptions, who came representing the Director General of the JPN, because our request for meeting was with the Director General. And in that meeting, it was clear that the government of Malaysia does not think that we have a big problem with statelessness among the Indian poor. Let me quote what the director said, Encik Azmin. He said they have had 84 outreach events. JPN has organized 84 outreach events and only 80 applicants showed up. He's inferring that, hey, we don't have such a big problem, what are you talking about? Well, to prove our point, we say there could be well in excess of 100,000 stateless people, Indian poor in this country. To prove our point, in the same time period that we've been discussing in the last month or so with the JPN, we have just let it be casually known that we are having we are having this discussion with the JPN, and you can see for yourself, we have here between 35 to 40 people, just like that. We have not canvassed, all from the Penang area, all within the last 1 month. These are all stateless people. I think it is time the government, the UMNO-led government, recognizes what we have here is a problem of a large magnitude. Not to go on being in denial and insisting that we only have a small problem. This campaign by Hindraf and the Human Rights Party will not end with this. We will continue until the problem of statelessness among the Indian poor is completely eliminated. Now, let me elaborate a little bit about why, in the first place, we have this issue. See, in many cases, when the child is born, the father, who is the main contact between the family and the administration, the government, departments and all that, is indisposed for one reason or another. You must understand, these are working class people. They earn daily wages and sometimes they're out of town, and sometimes for other circumstances in their life they're not able to make it. So they're not able to register at birth in the hospital. So then they have to go to the JPN, and then they are given a bunch of forms which we who are not poor, not marginalized, not illiterate, have difficulty trying to fill out and meet the requirements. They're given a set of forms and they're not given any help whatsoever. So they stumble along, they struggle, and they get into difficulties. They go to the JPN with incomplete forms, incorrectly filled forms, and insufficient evidence and so on, and they are turned back and turned back and turned back. Every day they show up at the JPN, they lose a day's wages. And this has been going on. And there is no appreciation for this on the part of the government. There's no ownership on the part of the government to understand these circumstances and to set up procedures and to set up support systems that will directly address this situation. This is one major problem. Another that we frequently encounter is misinformation to these poor people at the counters of JPN. There are many cases where clearly this is the reason why the children are not registered, because they've been told they cannot. For instance, where the marriage is not registered in the civil registry, there are many cases where the parents have been told they cannot register their children because the marriage is not registered in the civil registry, even though the mother is a citizen of this country. This misinformation, there are several other situations of misinformation where there's a marriage between a Hindu mother and a Muslim father. Similarly, the Hindu mother has been told that unless she converts, she cannot register her children. We have cases like that right here. Okay. This is the second reason, misinformation at the JPN counter. The third reason is where there is intermarriage between Hindu parent and Muslim parent. right? And for various reasons, because they want to retain their religions of origin, they don't want to convert. They face problems registering their children. Constitutionally, it is guaranteed that if one of the parents is a citizen of this country, that's all is required for the child to be a citizen of this country. But what is constitutionally guaranteed is systematically, procedurally denied. This is the third reason. And the fourth reason is commonly where the marriage, for one reason or another, is not solemnized in the civil registry. That seems to be another recurring reason. So these are some of the reasons. But regardless of the reason, I think these are not showstoppers. I mean, fundamentally, the Constitution guarantees statehood, and they should be guaranteed. They should be given the statehood, provided the only condition that the parent is a citizen is met. And now we have a big problem in the country because of these circumstances. Now the government has to take ownership for this. And this is our point. We've already submitted a proposal on the 13th of August to the Director of Births, Deaths and Adoption. And so far, the response has been very cold. We haven't got a response to our proposal, whether they are considering our proposals or whether they are, they think that we are, being too demanding in our proposals. We've not heard anything back from them. But briefly, our proposals are that the government should set up a special unit to address this problem. A special unit within the JPN with field workers all the way up to director till this problem is eliminated. It is a shame that after 53 years, we're still struggling with this problem of statelessness. And if we go back historically, there are reasons, very clear reasons, why the government must take ownership for this problem. The historical circumstances, the poverty, of the estates, going back a long time, just transmits through generations. And today we have this situation. Poverty leads to illiteracy, leads to a number of other circumstances, and these people are in a trap. Without government intervention, without state intervention, they are not going to be able to come out. And for this, the state has to take ownership. The procedures are overwhelming. The procedures need to be simplified. Today, we have so many people here in this office, and we have all these forms, and then we have, commissioners of oath, and we have a photography facility here, and we need to go to the schools, we need to go to the hospital, we need to get two senior people to attest that the children were born of these parents. There's so many requirements that even we are struggling. One can imagine just how difficult it is. It's almost impossible for the people, the poor to fulfill these procedures. The other is that the government and the JPN must follow the constitutional guarantees. The government and JPN are not following the constitutional guarantees in requiring marriage to be a condition, in requiring religion to be a condition for birth registrations. The government, departments and the government must follow the guarantees given to every citizen in this country. Very clearly stated in the Constitution that by operation of law, if the mother or the father is a citizen of this country, the child is a citizen of this country.